All right, today we're going to go on an absolutely epic adventure. We're going to follow a single drop of water, all the way from the highest clouds right down into your kitchen tap. So let's dive in.
I mean, it seems so simple, doesn't it? You just turn a handle and poof, clean water appears. But behind this everyday bit of magic is an incredible story of immense scale, amazing engineering, and a journey that's literally billions of years old.
So before our little water droplet even gets close to a pipe, it's already part of this massive global system. This is where its story really begins, out there in the great wide open.
Okay, to really get this journey, you have to start where almost all the water is. And get this, a staggering 96% of all the water we have on Earth is just sitting in the oceans. So odds are, our Droplets adventure kicks off right there as part of that vast, salty sea.
This right here, this is basically the engine that drives our planet's entire water system. It's a continuous, powerful loop. First up, you've got evaporation. The sun's energy just lifts water vapor up out of the ocean. Then, as it gets higher and colder, that vapor condenses into clouds. And finally, precipitation brings it all back down to Earth as rain or snow. Simple, elegant, and it never stops.
So, once all that rain and snow lands, it has to go somewhere, right? It collects in rivers and lakes, or it seeps way down deep into the ground, filling up these huge underground reservoirs called aquifers. And this is the crucial handoff point. This is where the wild journey ends, and the engineered one is about to begin. Okay, so our water droplet has been collected, but whoa, it is not ready to drink. On its way down, it's picked up dirt, microbes, all sorts of tiny passengers. So now it enters Act 2, the Great Cleanup, a multi-stage purification gauntlet to get it sparkling clean.
And this is where all that raw, wild water goes. A water treatment plant. You know, these places are just absolute marvels of modern engineering. Their whole job is to take that water from the environment and systematically remove anything and everything that could be harmful to us.
And it's not a simple one-step wash. It's this intense, 5-step obstacle course. First, in coagulation, they add chemicals that basically act like magnets for tiny dirt particles, clumping them together. Next is flocculation, where they gently stir the water to make those clumps bigger and heavier. Then comes sedimentation, where all those heavy clumps, now called flocks, just sink to the bottom. After that, the much clearer water on top goes through filtration, layers of sand, gravel, and charcoal that catch even finer particles. And the final, crucial step, disinfection. A little bit of chlorine is added to kill any leftover germs. Now it's safe.
So, our droplet is sparkling clean, and it's ready to go. But how does it get from that plant to millions of homes? Well, it enters this massive, unseen network right under our feet, a hidden highway. And the scale of this thing is it's hard to even wrap your head around. In the United States alone, there are nearly 1 million miles of water pipes. 1 million miles. That's enough pipe to circle the entire Earth about 40 times. It's this incredible, invisible infrastructure that makes our modern lives possible. And that highway isn't just a big mess of pipes. It's cleverly designed. On one side, you have System A, a branch network. It's kind of like a tree, where water has only one path to get to the end. But most cities use System B, a grid or loop network. This is so much smarter because it gives water multiple paths. So if one pipe breaks, no big deal. Water just gets rerouted, and you might not even notice a flicker in your service.
Now, you have this million-mile highway, but the water is not just going to flow through it on its own. It needs a push. It's a lot like electricity, really. Water flows from high pressure to low pressure. So at the treatment plant, you have these huge, powerful pumps that give the water that initial shove, creating the pressure it needs to travel all across a city.
But here's the thing, those pumps can't do all the work, especially with demand changing all day long. And that's where these familiar landmarks come in. I love this analogy. Think of a water tower as a giant, shared water backpack for an entire neighborhood. It uses the simple, totally free power of gravity to make sure everyone has steady, consistent pressure.
And this is where the engineering is just brilliant. Let's just walk through a typical day. In the middle of the night, when we're all asleep, demand for water is super low. So the pumps use that quiet time to fill the tower up. Then, bam, morning rush hits. Showers, toilets, coffee makers, demand skyrockets. The tower drains, helping the pumps keep up. Midday, things get quiet again, and the tower refills. It's just this elegant dance, balancing supply and demand all day long.
So our little droplet has survived the wild. It made it through the cleanup gauntlet, and it's traveled the hidden highway. We are in the final act of its journey to us. But as you're about to see, The end is really just another beginning.
And here we are, after all of that, traveling through clouds, down rivers, through a treatment plant, and miles of pipes. It completes its journey. With the simple turn of a handle, it arrives. Clean, safe, and ready for us to use.
But hang on, here's a thought that might just blow your mind. The water in your glass? It isn't new. That exact same water has been on this planet for about 3.5 billion years. It's all part of one giant closed system, which means what we do with it next is just as important as how it got here.
Because the moment that droplet goes down your drain, its journey is not over. Not even close. It enters the sewer system and heads to a totally different facility, a wastewater treatment plant. There, it goes through a whole other cleaning process before it's safely put back into a river or a lake. And just like that, the cycle, both the natural and the engineered one, starts all over again. So let's just think about that insane journey, from a cloud to a river, through not one but 2 different treatment plants, and a million-mile maze of pipes, just to get to our tap. And then it starts again. This immense, complex, energy-hungry journey happens for every single drop we use. So the question we're left with is, knowing the epic story behind